Look, if you're still waiting for your BDC to follow up on that equity lead from last week, we've got bigger problems. AI isn't coming. It's here. And if your dealership's not using cameras, data, and behavioral targeting to bring people in the drive, someone else is. Today on What the Prop, we got the team behind Capture DS. They're flipping the old spray and pray marketing model on its head and replacing it with license plate triggered precision that actually gets people back in the door. Welcome to What the Prompt, where we simplify AI for car people who actually give a damn about making tech work on the sales floor and in the service drive. Today, I've got not one, but three guests from Captured Data Services. These guys aren't theorizing about what could work. They're already deploying tech in the wild. But instead of me reading bios, I'll let each of them kick it off. Fellas, introduce yourselves and tell us, how are you helping dealerships sell more cars or drive traffic through service?
All right. Well, I'll start off. I'm Eric Nordland. I'm the president of Capture Data Services. I tell you what, before we really kick in, because once I start, I'm not stopping. So why don't I let the other guys chime in on who they are, so your audience isn't scratching their head, and then we'll get rolling on this. How about?
I'll go next. My name's Oscar Fulmer, and I'm the sales department for Capture DS.
I'm Tim Wing, and I'm working in the marketing and the leadership piece of Capture DS. And I was a reformed car guy, got into the internet and kind of lead generation, and Capture DS brought on a unique opportunity to get back into the car business in a smart way that's for us as well as dealers. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let me jump into what we do. Capture DS, we utilize what are called LPR cameras, license plate recognition technology. And we utilize these cameras in a couple ways. One, we have them facing out, and one we have facing in towards the dealership. So let's start with how it works, okay? We put a camera up facing outwards on the dealer, and that camera captures that license plate. That license plate we turn into a VIN. That VIN we merge up against anywhere from 400 to 600 different customer attributes. Now, these attributes can be car-related, education-related, income related. We have what they like, what they don't like, their shopping, all of those things that you've opted into. And everyone in our database, just so you know, has opted into this type of marketing. We take those and we don't just filter them to, hey, this person is this FICO or this score range. We really sit down and we do an analysis on what the person is, the segmentation of them. We get into really what makes them tick, what's important to them. So whether they're driving by and you want to try to run a servicing campaign or a sales campaign, we say not only, hey, of these 500,000 people that pass by every month, or these 200,000 that pass by every week, we take those down to, hey, there's 200,000 people, and these ones come by 3-4 times a week. Okay. And within that, these 20,000 or so, they're interesting. They're people that you can target. And here's how you would message them, because everything you say, we do it on an individual basis. So like, for example, the way you would talk to me is very different than the way you would talk to Tim, even though from a demographic standpoint, we're very similar. But, so we not only get into we don't spray and pray. We'll say that we take that group that goes by. We take those individuals. We rank order from a probability standpoint. We put them into a different segmentation, and then we create all of our creative, whether it's our digital ads, our email, our marketing piece that Tim and Oscar do so well. We not only have the messaging piece of it, but even the imaging piece is unique to those individuals because, look, you got to catch their eye first before you can deliver the message. And then once the message is delivered, then we have them. Then we can push them into your dealership. That's step one. And we can do that both from a servicing campaign. If you're a Ford dealer, we can tell you every Ford that goes by. We can tell you how far they are from the camera. We can tell you, not only did they show up 3 times a week, but it was during the week, so we know they're there versus hey, they came up twice on the weekend. We've never seen them since. They're probably visiting, but we can tell you everything. We can also tell you if there's an open recall on them. We can do all of that. If you want to do some sort of sales campaign, conquest, whatever, we can provide that data to you too. But here's the other part that's so cool is once they come in, we have the inward facing camera. Okay. And we'll capture that license plate. And we like to say all this happens before the handshake. So every dealership has what I would say probably 3 distinct levels of sale. And we've all sold cars, You've got the guy in there. He's going to sell 20, 30 cars every month. It doesn't matter what day. It doesn't matter if it's tax season. It doesn't matter if it's, December.
Yeah.
He's selling 30 cars regardless. Okay. And it doesn't matter what dealership he's at. He just does it. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you've got everybody else. You got the guys that sell 6 to 10 and the guy that sells 10 to 15. Okay. The guy who sells the most, it's his ability to relate to customers. He can walk out and become a chameleon almost.
Yep.
And we've all seen it. It's fast. He looks out in the dealership or out in the lot and he sees somebody and you'll see him, he'll take his Rolex off or he'll put it on. He can walk out and he can talk about wrestling or the inefficiencies in the bond market. I mean, that's their range,
Yeah.
They have that instant rapport. And then, because, think about when a customer walks on the lot. Is there any time when a customer is more guarded in any type of purchasing than when they walk on the lot of a dealership?
Almost in the dental chair. That's about
exactly.
it.
At least the dental chair, they don't have to talk because they got things in their mouth. Here, people are asking them questions. So, So what our inward camera does is it captures that license plate and we run it up against the database. And then we say, hey, this is the general characteristics of the person. This is their name. This is their address. This is their, and we can get pretty detailed. Most of the sales managers or GMs are like, keep it high level to the sales guys. We don't want them desking a deal as they're, staring at them, but dropping in their DMS, we can drop in all sorts of information. So,
man, I love it. I love it. Definitely. Eric, Tim, and I talked with Tim. Of course, he grew up in the dealership world, so we got some car guys, and Oscar is going to be our honorary car guy. I'll let him sit with me. You know what? I'll let him sit with me for a full day one day, and he'll probably either not come back to you guys and just be like, I found my calling. I love this high energy, charismatic, driving new cars, Corvette, shooting TikToks every day. Or he's like, I'm out. Yeah, it's crazy, right? So you guys get it. And that's what this show's about. Real conversations that help real stores move metal and turn wrenches. Now, if this is already hitting for you and you want more of these no BS breakdowns every week, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Whether you're watching on YouTube or listening in your office, it tells us this kind of content matters. Share it with your GSM, your fix op director, whoever needs to hear it. And if your vendor wants this mic, they better bring the heat like these guys did. Let's dig in because the show, of course, is about AI, technology, integrations in the stores. And when I first talked to Oscar, my brain kind of it was a mind explosion of the possibilities, direct marketing. Just stuff at my fingertips that I could just go out with a smile and shake somebody's hand with confidence on what the picture was. So let's paint the picture. Is this a tool that a salesperson would have access to, a finance manager? Who has this? And that's what I want. That's what the prompt is about, is painting that picture for that store person. What does that look like?
Great question. And that it feeds right into what it does. So, okay. So we can provide the information one of 3 ways. We can email it to whoever needs it. We can text it. And then we also have the ability to drop it into their DMS or CRM, whatever they're using for customer data. So we do that via webhook, so it's instantaneous. The other cool thing is when you think about it, what's the thing that sales managers gripe about the most? It's, people walk on the lot and you don't put them into to the DMS. we do that for you. So everybody's in there. And look, if it's your Snap-on tool guy or whoever, we can ignore plates too. But who's it for? Everybody you just named. And here's why. So from a salesperson standpoint, we will tell you, hey, this person's interested in gardening or pets or cooking or whatever the case may be. So think about that. You've got an instant rapport when you walk out there. You know what this person likes. Okay. So you can start the conversation, again, hey, I watched the hockey game last night. I've looked at mine. Hockey's in there. So, oh man, how about that Edmonton overtime? Wow, this guy, I completely relate to him. My guard is down instantly. Because they've opened a statement that, again, the guy who sells 30 cars, he does it intuitively. All the rest of us, this gives us the tool. Well, now that I've got the tool, the AI component of it kicks in because I'm taking all of those attributes, all of the throwing it in the large or the large language model. We're constantly updated. It's constantly learning. I mean, that's the amazing thing. What used to take analysts months to decipher, we're doing it in seconds. And, every week we're updating it. Once I've got the person interested and we're talking the car, well, now I know this person's interested in the financing aspect of it. So I know, hey, look, if we get to a deal, understand we've got multiple financing sources. We're going to make this easy on you. You don't have to put a big down payment down. That's what they want to hear. Or the person she's all about safety. My wife walks onto the lot. I like the color of it. It looks good. That's all I need to know. Is it safe? So you can focus on safety with her. You know, I mean, that going in. So you're not going, hey, this bad boy rips, 0 to 80 in about 4 seconds. And man, those tires can kick mud up. Well, she doesn't care, she doesn't. That's just the opposite. That would be in the things you don't say to her because we provide that too. So the whole behavioral segmentation is a piece that was started by a guy by the name of Howard Moskowitz. He's on our advisory board. Howard's a Harvard PhD that really got into the whole ability he was doing analytics before we called it analytics. Let's just say that. So what we do is really unique. No one can replicate it. But servicing side, we also know based on the segmentation, hey, this person would be interested in a tire and wheel package. This person would be interested in gap. This person would be interested. So look, you're going to menu them. We know that. But how many times have you sat across the aisle? And I never tell them I'm a car guy when I'm in there just to see how, you see how this could add value, right, Eric? Just trying to get me to say yes. I mean, they all do it. You see how this adds value, correct? Well, what if you flipped it the other side and said, look, I think I sense that maybe the financing piece of this has you concerned. Let's look at gap because God forbid that, the insurance companies never pay the total off. And if you're worried about down payment, if you're worried about that nest egg, this is a cheap product. Let's just focus on that right now. Okay, boom. That's what she wanted to hear. That's what he wanted to hear. Not, okay, check the box. We went through that one. Check the box. We went through that one. You're going to hit the other one slightly. But we even tell you based on 190 million survey responses that we have, what this person from a high probability is going to be interested in. So now you got the sales guy who can sell like that 20, 30 a month, whether he's 6, 10, whether he's a newbie, you got everything for him. Who helps the F&I or who helps the product, the guys out? Who helps F&I? This does. And again, it's not just, hey, I'm going to have my guys come in to tell you how to sell my product and this is every product. Again, if you're not using data, if you're not using analytics, if you're not using machine learning, the guy across the street is. Yeah. And the guy across the street's going to put you out of business.
It definitely needs to complement. That is 100% correct. I've been at my store where I'm at now for about 6 months and leaving leadership, getting back into the field, selling cars. It's a whole new product, right? So when my customer comes in and I have no clue about it, I'll take a picture and upload it into my ChatGPT and say, create me a walk around, and it'll give me a walk around on that window sticker. And boom, I'm ready to go. And it tells me what I need. Sounds extremely similar that what your product would be able to do, of course.
Well, imagine if you could add to that ChatGPT prompt, provide me a walk around for a consumer who's ultra worried about safety.
Exactly.
Right. And you're continuing to narrow that customer down.
That's exactly it. We have about 150 some odd segments that we can drop in and with a high degree of accuracy on, again, what's important, just as Tim said. What if that walk around was designed not just for that type of, but specifically for that person? I mean, how much more could you sell? I mean, how much easier would life be if you could do that?
Definitely. I get it. Thanks, Tim. That was good. That's good. I've worked the sales desk. Most of us are working with old datas. So you guys are bringing live plate data into the store in real time. How does that impact what a sales manager sees when someone pulls in?
Do you want me to keep going, guys, or someone?
Well, I think it does. I think it does a few things. I think a smart at one end of the scale, if a sales manager knows his guys, he can pair them from a personality standpoint.
Makes sense. Yep.
You can also make determinations based on the factors that this guy's maybe not a real up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Like, hey, I got a noob who needs to go cut his teeth on something. Go ahead with the 505 credit score. And figure it out, right? It's like you guys said, walking onto a car lot, everybody walks in there with apprehension. What this tool does is it helps you find common ground faster. Get over the awkwardness, find something to get rid of the discomfort and help the consumer faster on the way. So the right sales manager sees that, recognizes that, and says, hey, this customer needs to talk to this guy.
Absolutely. Let me throw into that. I mean, when all of us are being judged on CSI, I mean, the fact that you've created that relationship right off the bat with the right salesperson. Like I've walked out of dealerships just because I didn't like the guy. I wanted the car. I just didn't like the guy,
Right.
I was like, I'll come back later or I'll go somewhere else. But what if you could look at it and say, Oscar's the guy for him. Oscar's the guy. Again, sales manager can get as much information as they want. And to Tim's point, we can actually even identify based on their criteria. Hey, I don't want anyone who has an income below 40,000 and a credit score below 580. We'll still say, hey, that person's out on the lot. We won't. We'll tell them probably not for you. So if I've got 5 people out on the lot and 4 salesmen, well, now I kind of know how to rank order things. So even from an efficiency standpoint, it's a great point, Tim. I probably don't talk about that enough, that if it's a real up.
Yeah, I walk in, I'm like Eric, but I'm the opposite. I tell them when I walk in, right? Hey, I'm a car guy. If you bust out the 4 square, I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so you need to have, for someone like me, and our tool is going to define, hey, this guy is picky how he does things. You're not going to throw a new person at me because they're probably not going to have the ability to work outside of it.
Agreed. Okay. So I'm a GM. I got reports. I got my CRM, DMS. I got people yelling across the tower. How does Capture DS make me smarter, faster, and more profitable without more meetings?
Well, for one thing, how many sales training meetings have you been? How many Tony Robbins seminars have you had to watch? How many times have you sat there and thought, well, this is great, but I'm never going to use it? I mean, we can eliminate all those because we give you the tools to sell on every customer at that level. You don't have to sit there and mimic their movement and try to put them into one of 4 boxes. And they're a T, they're an S, they're an R, they're a C. From an efficiency standpoint, we let you get to the point quicker. From a sales manager standpoint, having to blow your sales guys, hair back because they're not inputting things in. Well, we eliminate that too. And from a reporting standpoint, look, you can get a true assessment of. We can even get down, just so you know, we can get down to if you allow us access to into your DMS, and we talked about some of the providers that do that. We can pull your DMS data, and we can even tell you who the right person is based on it. We can tell you, hey, if she sells the car, here's the likelihood that this salesperson will sell it. I mean, we can get down to some really cool stuff just because we have the analytics behind it. And again, we have analytics not only at the individual consumer level, but our data when we are coming back to a GM, it's not based on 50 Ford stores. It's based on your one store, your data, the people you have. So again, we're really unique in that not only can we take it and come out with it, but the machine learning piece of it, the aspect of that, I mean, it just comes with the dinner. We just keep getting smarter and smarter for you. So you get smarter and smarter. So you get more efficient. And hey, I'm going to promise you, I'm not going to save you any time, because instead of selling 60 cars, you're going to be selling 80. And now everybody's got to work harder. So
Yeah. Good thing. Good problems
good
to have,
thing,
of
huh?
course.
Good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you all have your own large language model that y'all created in
Mhm.
house?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
We have a data scientist, part of the ownership team that is highly sought after. We're very fortunate to have him. But the models he creates, and how he learns, and how he has it set on, just yeah, we can't be replicated right now. One, like I said, we have the exclusivity. We utilize Motorola's LPR cameras. We have an exclusivity arrangement with Motorola for marketing
Great.
purposes. We have the patent on utilizing this for marketing and analytics, both the inward and outward facing camera. So yeah, we between how we learn and what we have, this is designed to be a competitive advantage for people who take the opportunity.
Once again, I'm the GM. I have this data that's come in, maybe a dashboard or something that shows me cars that entered my lot. What would reports look like? But not only that, do I use my own marketing agency? Do I contact you all to do the marketing fulfillment? Is it one stop shop? I would rather pay the least amount of people for accountability purposes to make my life a little easier.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work with you all?
Tim, you want me to take that one?
Yeah, I can go for it. So we've actually thought about that, right? So we have a couple of different. We have a piece. Data Drive is where we go for our marketing, the marketing piece of it. So we can actually handle the data, the generation to the fulfillment on a marketing side. We work with the client, whether it's the dealer or other business, to craft that message from not only messaging side but from a visual side. And we can touch the client by email marketing, by some digital ad displays, and direct mail.
And again, we recognize also that if you're a dealer group, you probably have your own in-house marketing team, or you've outsourced it to somebody since inception. You're very comfortable with them. In that case, we provide the data, the rank ordering, we provide the messaging, and we, to Tim's point, we'll tell them, hey, this person wants to see that truck ripping through the beach with sand flying everywhere. Make it an action image. Or hey, this person, they're all about safety. Make sure that it's a safety image, with this messaging. So we can pass that on. If you've got somebody you like for fulfillment and creative, we're just here to provide the data and the directions for them. So we can be as much as you want us to be or as little as you want us to be. But like I said, we've got data analytics and messaging that whatever your response rate is, we're 3 to 5 times better, because one, the message we're sending, the image is, it's catching their eye. They're going to move forward with it. The messaging resonates with them. But equally as important, we can also tell you the 30, 40, 50% of people that have no interest in you, whatsoever. Right. So you're not wasting money. You're not wasting resources. You're not wasting time on them. You're only focusing on the ones with the highest probability.
Yep. So I'll give you an example. So we're working with a client that, we look at their data and we're delivering the message and we say, hey, this segment of your users, they love pets. Let's put a dog in that picture. Open rates go up, activity rates go up, and calls go up. It just makes sense that it's delivering your message in a way the person wants to receive it. And that's where the big data model comes in, and we spit those out at the bottom of the funnel versus guessing at the top.
Very cool. Very cool. My mind even went to, like, you could even promote, buy a car, you get a year worth of dog washes or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, whatever's tugging a heartstring, that's what works. We got to have a new puppy for past 3 weeks now. So we're back in that world right now.
Yeah.
Waking
so
up every morning.
Yeah. So you would respond to dog sitting. Someone can take the puppy off your hand for a few hours. Absolutely.
Yes. Yep. Let's talk integrations. Do your tools plug into CRMs, marketing system, DMSs, and actually trigger workflows? What does a AI orchestration look like for a dealer that's trying to stitch this mess together?
Yeah, absolutely. So we can provide the data any way any of these three ways or all three of these ways. As a customer comes on the lot, like I said, we can do an email blast to the people that are in the dealership. We do a text blast, okay? But more importantly, like I said, via webhook, we can drop it into their DMS, their CRM. We're mapped and ready to go for all the major ones. The ones we don't have usually takes us 24, maybe 48 hours to get mapped into them. So again, with utilizing webhook, it's pretty easy to get into most, if not all of them. It's not double data input. It takes away, it eliminates all that. We're integrated in, and whatever workflow that kicks off based on how they have it set up, we just start the process.
Yeah, we're designed to enhance the workflow, not disrupt it.
Got it. And do y'all have a dealer success manager, somebody that walks through, builds up workflows and things like that, possibly?
Oh yeah, we have the training piece. We're in the process of finalizing second version of it. We have guys that train. We have guys that come back and retrain. We make sure you're utilizing it correctly. We make sure that you understand what the messaging means. Again, if there's pieces of data that you'd like to see, we probably have them. If some of it's too much and you want it, then we can customize that for you too. But really, for us, dealers get inundated with all sorts of new technology. Ours is just designed to be easy. Just look at it, digest it, walk outside, and from if you want your service base full, tell us what you want to put on it. We can provide it to your marketing team, or we can do it. Or if you want, like I said, conquest or buy cars or whatever the case may be, just tell us what the program is. We'll provide you the list of people going by that are most likely to respond to the call to action, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Again, we're not here to design. We're not here to make you learn anything new. In fact, we're here just to take your existing processes, take a few of them off your hands, make your sales guys more efficient, make your marketing better.
I'll be real, guys. I've never had, in a way, it's predictive, like predictive marketing that, hey, this person is likely to trade in or likely to sell you their car. Approach them correctly. And in my opinion, that's unheard of right now. Let's be real. Some operators are skeptical. What's your advice for helping someone see this isn't hype? It's real. And who should own this at the store level? A GM, GSM, or a dedicated data champion?
That's probably all of it, dependent on the dealership itself. For us, look, we stand by it. We have a 12-month contract, no question, but we tell them, you don't like it, it's a 60-day out. Give us time to reschedule taking down the camera. We'll hit all the entry points, make sure we're capturing everybody. For us to redeploy them, doesn't take long. So if you don't like it, that's fine.
Yeah.
But look, we want it just to become part of the dealer fabric, just the way they do business. Just like I said, try to take the uneasiness, the awkwardness of that walking out, making eye contact, shaking your hand as your hand's shaking. We just want to take that away. If we can make the car buying process, everybody's focused on time. If you can just make it shorter, it's a better experience. Yeah. You might make a better experience as a better experience. Why don't you make it something that a customer's comfortable with, that when they walk out, they say, man, that Oscar, he's a good guy, man. I'd come back and do business with him again. From a CSI perspective, he's all 10s. I can't wait to talk to him about, whatever we were talking about when I come back to service my car here, because I feel real comfortable with him.
Before we close, I want to ask each of you, what's one way a dealership could use your tech tomorrow to actually move the needle? No fluff, just real impact.
Real data. The person before they even get to you. Their soft credit score. Everything about them. That's an advantage that nobody else has right now.
Yeah. And I would add to that is start marketing to the people who are driving by your store today, right? We can get you to the person who's sees you on a daily basis, and you're not trying to change the world. You're just trying to get them to turn right and come see you, because you're the solution that doesn't disrupt your life. You know how to talk to them. You know what they're looking for, and you can make the process easier.
Yeah, I'd probably end it with all of those things you talk about Monday morning that the sales guys have to do. All the the half X's and full X's that you put on there, and the big line in the middle of where they need to be. Put us in, you'll blow through that line. You'll be moving that line to the right. It's a better process. It's a better experience. It's easier on your sales guys. I mean, we don't even talk about the fact that, from a sales perspective, if you've got this tool and everybody's selling a lot of cars, making money, you're not having to train new salespeople every month because they're leaving. I mean, they're comfortable with what they have. They've got a job that they like. They've got an advantage over other dealerships in the area. So try it out.
Yeah, that is definitely a great advantage. If one of our viewers was curious, it drew it out, how do they reach out to y'all? How do they find out more?
They can contact us through our website. We've got to contact us. We got phone numbers on there too. Shoot us an email or give us a call, and we'll talk it through with you. We've probably got somebody in the area that can show up direct. We can send you our materials, smoke signals, you name it. We'll respond to them.
All right, car people. Today's prompt is this. What would it look like if your marketing actually talked to your service data, your drive cameras, and your CRM in real time? What would your month look like then? If you're ready for your tech stack to actually work for you, not against you, subscribe, share, and tag someone who needs to see this. And if your vendor's not talking like this, maybe they shouldn't be talking at all.